All right, folks, this is the notes for Chapter 6, Selling Television Advertising. Neil Postman estimates that an American who has reached the age of 40 will have seen well over 1 million television commercials in his or her lifetime and has close to another million to go before the first Social Security check arrives. Now, this statement was made well before the proliferation of the internet. So this statement just talking about television back then, not including radio, not including new media. And nowadays you can possibly even double that number in terms of the exposure to advertising that we are seeing out there. You can't move your head or blink an eye without getting some sort of message that is clamoring for your attention. So there's a lot of noise out there, and part of our job is to try to break through the clutter to be able to have our particular message to be heard. The advantage of big event programs like the Seinfeld finale or the annual Super Bowl broadcast is that they get big ratings across all demographic groups. Day-to-day selling, though, is based on demographics. So on one hand, you do have the blockbuster events that everybody is tuning in for, and you can command big dollars because you are reaching a large number of Americans. But by and large these days, you're mostly going for certain target audiences. Didn't always used to be the case. Before the advent of cable television and the expanded number of broadcast networks that were available, when there were only limited choices for television watching, the networks didn't really care as much about appealing to certain segments of the population. They put programs on and just assumed that everybody was going to watch. And advertisers pretty much followed suit with that idea. Then came along Fox Television. Fox led the way with targeted programming, showing the other networks how to make a living with 18 to 34 and 18 to 49 demo numbers, not the whole universe. So we have this idea now of television kind of taking a page from radio and recognizing that they're not going to be all things to all people. So they are going to target their programming towards a certain audience. Viewers are increasingly abandoning the big three for more interesting fare elsewhere. And where viewers go, so go advertisers, at least eventually. We're even seeing now that because new media has become more and more ubiquitous, that a lot of advertisers are shifting their dollars over to internet advertising, pre-rolls on YouTube, sponsoring podcasts and things like that. And while there's still a little bit of a wild west out there in terms of being able to measure effectiveness with those things and determining how much those sort of sponsorships can cost, many businesses are finding that that is a viable alternative, in addition to some of the other options that are out there, like cable and all the other different means of advertising out there. So television now has much more competition to deal with as its audience is slowly eroding. However, network television is still a viable and valuable medium for advertising. Like any other mass medium, television is slowly becoming demassified, not only by cable, but by new and emerging interactive forms of media that nip away at time formerly used for watching television. So, part of our challenge, if we are selling television advertising, is to be able to focus in on the strong suits of what television has to offer, and to be able to combat some of the negative connotations that are becoming stronger and stronger out there. Let's talk first about the benefits of television as an advertising medium. The primary attraction of television as an advertising medium is its visual appeal, its ability to grab the audience's attention with pictures and motion. So it's the whole sort of thing where television is considered to be a warm or a hot medium, because it's something that forces the consumer to sit and watch and kind of dedicate his or her time to it. I mean, yeah, they might be reading a paper or a book or scrolling through social media or things like that while they're watching television, but by and large, it's an activity in which people that are consuming television are doing so for the express purpose of consuming television. Now, where television is still considered to be a primary medium in order to be able to reach large numbers of people, it is still kind of that idea that television is the place to be when it comes to getting your message out there. Sellers should take note that your competition is on television is a strong selling point. In other words, if you're Burger King and you know that McDonald's is flooding the television airwaves with commercial advertising, there's a little bit of peer pressure there. Do you want McDonald's out there grabbing all of your potential customers because they're promoting themselves and you're not? So that's a very strong argument to make there. Some other strong points of advertising on television. There's the visual aspect. Television grabs the audience's attention and creates an appeal by combining full color pictures, sound, and motion. So again, it's that idea that it's a warm medium. It's an interactive medium. It requires a certain amount of attention from the consumer. Lifestyle. Almost everyone born after 1948 grew up with television and sees it as a part of life. Even those that tend not to watch over-the-air television have a television at home. So the idea that being able to consume content in that way is not a foreign concept. And the idea of advertising is very much a part of the experience of consuming content at home. Mass appeal. Television allows delivery to multiple household members simultaneously. You can get your message out there at one time to thousands, millions of people. And to be able to do that at a certain point in time, especially for things that are time sensitive, is a great selling point. Television is ubiquitous. Television reaches virtually all households in the United States. Television reaches people who are not exposed to other media. At this point, television is in 98 to 99% of all homes in the United States. And that has a much stronger reach than any other medium that's out there besides radio. And so as popular as consuming new media is, it's not available to everybody yet. It's getting there, but it's not there yet. Television is intrusive. Television does not require the viewer to seek the advertising. Television's going to have its commercial breaks in between the programming content, and the viewers are there not because they're seeking out the commercials, but because they're there as a part of the programming element. Television has reach. It produces high levels of reach and combines it with high frequency levels. Again, talking about the saturation within the market. Immediacy. Television provides immediate and simultaneous delivery of advertiser messages 24 hours a day. It is available right there, right now, as long as you have a television set and electricity and an antenna or a cable box. You turn your TV on and the content is there. Variety, the broad array, a program type. Let's try that again. The broad array of program types allows ads to reach viewers while they're in a specific state of mind. So because of the fact that television has become more targeted towards certain types of demos, you're going to be able to find some sort of content that is going to appeal to you by and large. When you're flipping through the dial, finding a program that is attractive to you. Television is multi-level. Advertising can be purchased nationally, regionally, or locally. So you can target your message to just a certain geographic area or to the entire country. Television has agency interest. The creative environment of television production offers revenue opportunity for advertising agencies, production companies, and creative directors. So there's that aspect that if you are looking as a company to reach out and you're working through an advertising agency, the agency still recognize the value of television advertising. Finally, TV has entertainment value. TV commercials are often as entertaining as the programs that carry them. That has become true more and more out of necessity in order to maintain and keep audience members' attention and for the message to be able to get heard. Now, let's talk about some of the arguments against television. Video rules Americans' leisure time, but over-the-air television does not. Shrinking shares at the major networks, channel surfing, and taping favored programs for later viewing are all factors that complicate the sales of TV time. So, again, talking about that idea that there's a whole lot more stuff out there that are options for people, that they don't have to stick and watch television, and they don't have to stick and watch television at the particular time prescribed by the network. In addition to audience erosion, there are some inherent downsides to TV advertising that, as a seller, you may hear from your prospective advertisers. And here is a pretty decent list of some of those things. Clutter. Commercials can take up about a quarter of television viewing time per hour. Many TV programs have maybe anywhere from 42 to 46 minutes of content within that hour, and the rest of that hour is taken up with advertising and promotion time. Television is non-mobile. TV viewing is done at home, which makes it difficult to reach consumers directly at the point of purchase. That is changing somewhat depending on people's tastes and needs. If they subscribe to services like Sling or YouTube TV, or sometimes even their cable or satellite providers will provide a way for you to be able to watch live streaming TV on your mobile device. But by and large, you still have to sit at home and turn the TV on in order to watch television. TV is poorly targeted. It's not as demographically selective as other forms of media. While TV has been moving towards a target audience type of format, it's not quite there compared to cable television, compared to radio, and compared to being able to select certain types of content on new media. TV is not upscale. Those who earn more money tend to watch less television. Now, you can look at this from two different levels. Number one, people that make more money are usually too busy to consume content. You can also look at it from the fact that those that like to consume different types of entertainment may be willing to pay for that, where broadcast TV, once you have the equipment, it is free. So it's going to be an option for people that either don't want to or don't have the ability to spend money for cable, satellite, streaming services, what have you. And if they don't have the money to spend on those sorts of things, will they have the money to spend on products that are being advertised? Zipping, zapping, and surfing. Commercials can be easily avoided, especially with all the options that are out there nowadays. It's very easy to just pick up the remote and find something else to watch while someone's trying to sell you soap. Limited avails. In spite of clutter, there is a limit to television's inventory. So because programming content, for the most part, is going to be pre-recorded, and that pre-recording is going to be a certain set length, there's only a certain set amount of time that's available for commercial announcements. Production costs. Television commercials can be expensive to produce. It's nothing to drop $250,000 on a basic television commercial ad. And that's just for the creative and the production. That's not counting the cost of the airtime itself. And fragmentation. The wide variety of options available has resulted in the declining share of the major networks. So the different options that are available are whittling away at the mass audiences that network television used to enjoy.